we have back some frequent guests, Adam Crawley, who is co-founder at Augment Software, and Marcelo Ballvé, who is head of research at Sacra. You guys have been with us before. We're going to talk about the latest updates for the Augment Power 20 that are coming out. Hopefully by the time this launches live, they'll be on your website, and this will be the Q2 numbers. SpaceX is out, right?
Yeah, that's
20,
right.
20 years of being private, huh?
After only 20 years, exactly.
We've been doing this report for 11 quarters straight, and it's been the number one company for all those 11 quarters in the secondary markets. So it's a big change
Right.
for the Power 20.
And I guess along with SpaceX being out, Cursor is out, or Anysphere, because they're acquired or being acquired by SpaceX. And Cerebras is also out because they went public as well. I guess look at the first five. Anthropic is the new king of the hill. That's not really any surprise there. Anduril certainly gotten a lot of attention. Full disclosure, that's a company we're investors in. OpenAI, Databricks, Stripe, kind of usual suspects. Neuralink is maybe a little higher on the list than it's been before, up 4 places. Neuralink, a company valued at over $50 billion with how much revenue, gentlemen?
We don't know. Maybe close to zero.
We don't know because they're not telling us, or we don't know because there is none.
Fair question.
Not to cast too much shade on the company. I think Siobhan Zillas, who I've met way back, is a very impressive leader of the company. I think there's lots of interesting prospects for the company, but that is an eye-popping number for either no revenue or an undisclosed amount of revenue.
Yeah, I think it's probably a bit of a premium to where financing rounds happen or where the next financing round would happen, but there's scarcity in the supply and the market just really wants it. So
I guess,
unfortunately, a supply-demand dynamic.
That a little bit of like Elon special sauce, Elon sprinkled us there, even though it's not exactly his company.
Well, for sure. And with SpaceX being out, if they want Elon, they have to get Neuralink, right? That was the 8th most active name, the name with the highest share price gains in the quarter. We use both those data points to inform the rankings. So
how do you guys comprise these rankings, and what factors are going into your decisions?
We run this formula. It's got 8 factors in it. They're weighted differently. But 6 of the factors cover market signals, price change, spreads, bid-ask activity, trade activity, etc. And then we have revenue and revenue growth. We try to balance out what's going on in the markets, which I think, as Adam said before the show, when we were chatting, they don't have perfect information, much less in these markets. But we try to balance out a little bit of the market signals with revenue and revenue growth. And see where things shake out. But, obviously, if there's tons of activity, very positive signals on the market side, that can outweigh the lack of revenue in this case.
I guess if I'm looking at the numbers, percentage increases on share price and revenue, a few things jump out. So Anthropic up 92% on share price and up 1,500% on revenue. Those are quarterly increases or annual increases that you're talking about there?
Those are annual. The revenue is annual. And that's a good call out there. Maybe it's not clear, but yeah, the revenue increase is annualized year over year. The share prices are quarterly changes.
Got it. So share price has almost doubled from the previous quarter. Revenue has gone up a crazy amount. Maybe any other notable increases in revenue here? Kalshi probably is the one that's gone also crazy. $3.5 billion in revenue. That's really pulled away. And Kalshi, I think, kind of raising at a new valuation, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
And I mean, Polymarket, we didn't have a base really, right? Because it wasn't monetizing for a while, but it's
right
at 1 billion as of June. That's a very, very fast ramp up to 1 billion. I mean, obviously they flicked the switch. Polymarket is growing as quickly, if not quicker, from like much lower base.
Also Perplexity. That's been the knock on Perplexity, is the valuation. There was a lot baked in to 20 billion and people were waiting for the revenue to pick up, and they launched the Perplexity computer product and then their revenue starting to turn. So keeping an eye on that one too, seeing some demand start to pick up in Perplexity.
What do you guys think about overall, which companies are screaming sort of buys undervalued, which ones you might be a little nervous could be overvalued? Do you have any favorites?
ByteDance on a valuation basis. I mean, we're seeing a lot of large institutional buyers come in on ByteDance at this level. It's what, 2 or 3 times current year revenue. I think that's one that stands
Yeah.
out.
I mean, that's a crazy amount of revenue. I guess on a revenue multiple basis, it's barely 3x, right? Maybe 3.5x, something like that.
I mean, the Neuralink, as far as expensive, I mean, I think that one stands out.
ByteDance has its own models, right? It's moving them more in the direction of closed. You could almost treat it as a comp for like Anthropic or OpenAI. It does look really low at like 3.2x 2025 revenue.
Kalshi's growth too. I mean, even at 23 billion or wherever we're seeing it here, that's
Right.
That's pretty significant magnitude of revenue and growth.
Obviously, I'm biased because we're a holder of Canva indirectly, but I feel like Canva and maybe Ramp are, quite reasonably valued based on their revenue. And maybe, Prometheus is also sort of in that category of an outlier just because that's a bet on Jeff Bezos. And we were talking about on the last show that one of Jeff Bezos's favorite sayings is, "Your margin is my opportunity." But in this case, I would say, "Your valuation is my opportunity." And Prometheus at barely less than a tenth of the price of SpaceX.
That's right. In parallel, Blue Origin doing around right now 100 billion plus.
Yeah, I think both of those are interesting. That he has 2 completely new businesses that are largely just valued based on his reputation, not on any observable metrics at the moment.
I mean, it's a foundational LLM, and when Elon came out with a third, it was like, I mean, he's basically the only one that could do it. But then it's like, okay, well, who else is in the Elon category? And that's Bezos. So I think that's like the exception to like who can build a successful foundational model at this stage.
And it's part of the physical AI trend as well, right?
I guess there's another company that isn't on your list that I was wondering about, which is Atoms. Travis is probably also in that category of like, sparkle dust founder, whatever he touches, valued at billions of dollars. But is that just not big enough to crack your list, or is that on the watch list for below the 20?
I think that's on the watch list. We're starting to see more demand in that pickup. On the demand front, I will say Project Prometheus, this is probably one of the most demand names I've seen outside of Anthropic and OpenAI. I was quite surprised by the amount of demand that we saw in Prometheus.